Hi guys, I'm Daddy Freeze, convener of the Free the Sheeple movement and leader of the Free Nation in Christ. I bring glad tidings. Tough to bring glad tidings in a time when the friends and family members of the Access Bank CEO, Herbert Wigwe, are in mourning. May his soul rest in peace. If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen. You know how to make that work. Double click the screen, double click the screen. Tap away if you're watching on TikTok. Pop my money guns. Tap. Let's get more people in here. Don't forget, you can order anything you want from America, delivered to your doorstep in Nigeria, buy direct from USA.com. Just type it, buy direct from USA.com. Anything you want, clothes, shoes, accessories, clothing, sunglasses, watches, authentic watches, not your pandas, electronics, phones, accessories. You could get delivered to your doorstep, buy direct from USA.com. Laptops, TVs, anything you want, buy direct from USA.com. Do check it out. Go to www.buydirectfromusa.com and get whatever you want. So, first things first, before I dive into today's topic, I want to talk about Ezekiel Ministries. Ezekiel Ministries is one of the guys who comes to my life. And what I saw today broke my heart. How can you start trying to claim prophecy? You said, let us pray. As in anybody that gives you, that any pastor that said he saw this crash should shut up. Shut up! Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Did you avert it? 100,000 only aeroplane, not counting helicopter, take off and land every day. If you say there's going to be a plane crash, you can claim any plane crash within the next 2 weeks. Did you give us a date? Did you give us a time? Did you even say one prominent Nigerian was going to be on a flight? You just said pray against plane crash. Stop it. Stop it. It's unfair to the mourning family. Stop using all. You people don't see anything. Come on. Even if you saw it, posting it out there without being able to stop it makes your God look useless, helpless. Nigerian people will never chop. Their God too never chop. Come on. What nonsense. Ezekiel, go to your page and go and delete that nonsense. Go and delete it. It's like saying I see one team losing the AFCON match. Maybe one team go lose them. Now, let us come to Larry King says, oh, guy, you self-rest. Maybe you should tell that to your father, who right now is probably running around in the bush looking for lizards that he will use to garnish the okra soup that he's cooking. As protein no day, and rainy season no day for catch termite where they fly with light. As termite no day, now lizard remain. As your papa day like this for your whole area, everybody recognize him. Ah, Baba Lalangba. If they get lizard for person out now, papa they call say alalangba no live. He say you go begin to run the ground, go there, go catch lizard. See in life. Let me tell you something. Hey, where you did? Let me tell you something. I used to think cockroaches were super animals. They say if you come out cockroach head, it will be alive for 2 weeks. I used to think cockroaches were super creatures until I met your father. He has been living without a head since birth. And he still born you. Rest in Jesus' name. Carry your Oshi Jesus name. Koshi Jesus. What was Jesus? Carry that thing away from my page. The rapture. Jesus call. Whoever bring Jesus near me. If Jesus see me, go run. Because that's what the white man used to bend you people's brain. So can I continue with my topic today? So there's what you call relative economics. I'll give you my experience. Because I've been a lover of watches all my life, or from the moment I could earn money. And watches are bought abroad. You probably have one Rolex in the whole of Nigeria. There's only one authorized Rolex retailer, only one, and that is Polo. Julian Osula at a point was authorized. I don't know if he's still authorized to sell Rolex, but I know he's authorized to sell Frank Mueller. I know he's authorized to sell Frank Mueller. He's authorized to sell, I think, Bax and Strauss. But for Rolex, it's only Polo. So, you want to buy Rolex, it is in dollars. So, I always understood the Naira dollar, how do I put it, comparisons. I remember in 2012, before then, I used to buy pre-owned Rolexes. So in 2012, I decided that I was going to buy my very first brand new Rolex. And that time, the Incredible Hulk just came out new. I was coming to Nigeria, and I passed through the airport, and I just saw the advert in the Rolex shop in Heathrow. I was like, whoa, this watch is nice. When I get to Nigeria, I'll order it. So I got to Nigeria, I went over to Polo, and I ordered it. The watch cost me 1.8 million naira. 1.8 million naira was the price, and that was $11,500. So 1,800 divided by 11,500. Sorry, 1,800 divided by 11,500. So the dollar was 156 naira to a dollar. This was 2012 Jonathan time, right? So I have the receipt. The receipt was written in dollars, but I paid in naira. I paid twice. I remember I paid 1.1 million upfront. Then when the watch came 6 months later, I now paid the balance of 700,000. But the receipt was written for me in dollars because of the watch's value in dollars. Amen? Someone said, don't tell me the Rolex I bought in Canada markets was fake. Very, very fake. If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen. Let me take you a little further. I remember in 2013, I bought another one. This time it was $24,500 for my rose gold on leather. I have the watch here. Rose gold on leather watch. This watch. Rose gold on leather Daytona. That's what it's called. It was $24,000. I paid 4.9 million for it. Let's do the math. I'm going somewhere. I want you to work with me. 4,900,000 divided by 24,000. So dollar then was, no, 4.5 million. I'm so sorry. 4500000 divided by 24,000. Dollar was 187,500 naira for $1. Work with me, work with me, work with me. That same 2013, dollar was about 187 naira. Let's peg it at 200 naira. Back and forth thing. I had to leave my house that I was living in Cool FM Plaza, and I went to meet the radio station. They said they were going to rent a house for me. So they gave me 1 million naira. Baba, we waka the whole Lekki. The only place I could see for 1 million naira was like a room and parlor. Work with me, work with me. I need you to use your brain now. The office gave me 1 million naira as rent. I was still building, I was still paying for this house. They were still developing it. They had not finished building it. So I needed somewhere to stay for a few years. So the radio station said, okay, they will pay my rent. They will give me 1 million naira. We didn't get anything in Lekki or Niru, that area for one. We got 1.2, 1.5, and they were all one bedroom. For 2 million, I got somewhere on Freedom Way, one of those blocks of flats. 2 million naira for a year. Let us work together. How much was 2 million naira a year in dollars? How much was 1.5 million? So let's calculate. At 200 naira a dollar, 1,500,000 divided by 200 was $7,500 for a one room and parlor in 2013, 2014. $2,000, that's 2 million naira, sorry, divided by 200. It was actually lower than 200, so I'm just estimating, was $10,000. Work with me in today's world. Do you know the kind of house you will get for 15 million naira in Nigeria today? $10,000. For $10,000, for 15 million naira, you will get a flat in Ikoyi. Maybe a one-bedroom flat in Ikoyi in a high-rise for 15 million a year. If you want to live in a duplex, my house for rent now is about 6 million naira, 7 million naira a year. So for 15 million, you will pay 2 years rent. This was what they were giving me for one small flat in Lekki. Calculate with me, work with me, work with me, work with me. Am I connecting to you guys? 1.5 million was $7,500. Do you know how much $7,500 is now? It's about 10 million naira. Can you connect with me? For 10 million naira, I will rent my house for a year. House, let me tell you, my house is 4 bedroom, 2 sitting rooms upstairs and downstairs, plus 2 car park in front of the house, and I will have 3 million naira change. Meanwhile, in 2014, that same money could not rent me more than a 2-bedroom house. The one I got for 2 million was one of those high rises in Freedom Way, Lekki. That high rise today is probably 8 million or 7 million. Meanwhile, $2 million is $10,000. 2 million naira then was 10,000, more than $10,000 actually. Things are not getting worse in Nigeria. Things are getting cheaper. For anyone who can earn out of Nigeria, Nigeria is getting cheaper to live in. It's not more expensive. It is way cheaper relatively. It is more expensive if you are living in Nigeria and earning in Nigeria. But if you are earning from abroad, it is cheaper than it was 10 years ago. Does anybody understand what I'm saying? Food is cheaper compared to the dollar. Ofoye Canada. We are not talking about who can earn and who cannot. You see, my problem is when we have an argument, which one is faster, Ferrari or Lamborghini? Stop telling me the paint they used to paint Ferrari is flashier than the paint they used to paint Lamborghini. We are not talking about paint. We are talking about speed. Whether it is only one person that can afford it, that is irrelevant in this argument. It is cheaper by global standards. What $1,000 could buy for you 10 years ago, with $1,000 today, you can buy more in Nigeria than you could 10 years ago. Am I right or wrong? Economists in the building. With $1,000, 1,000 naira, or let's say 1 million naira, today cannot buy what 1 million naira 10 years ago would buy in Nigeria. Impossible. But $1,000 today will buy you more than what $1,000 could buy 10 years ago. Does anybody understand this quadratic equation that I'm giving you? What are the indices? I've given you all the indices. Rent. Let's start with rent. Rent. How much is house in Lekki? A duplex in Lekki those days, 10 years ago. My house was going for like 3.5 million. Those days. 3.5 million was about $15,000. You want to tell me that somebody, you know what $15,000 is now? 20-something million naira. You want to tell me that somebody will rent this house for you 20 million naira and you agree? Those days, our salaries, I say this, in 2013, I was earning 366,000 naira a month. Dollar was around 190. Do the math. 366. As a radio presenter, poorly paid radio presenter, 366,000 divided by 190. No, not divided by 1. Yeah, 366,000 divided by, I'm right, 190. $1,900 a month times 1,450. 2.7 million naira. So my salary then was the equivalent of 2.7 million naira now. So the loss of the naira is a bad thing and a good thing. A great thing and a sad thing. A great thing because this is where Nigeria can become a billionaire country. We have reached the point where we can actually become rich. We don't need a strong dollar. We actually need a weak naira, because we are going to produce on this weak naira and sell and get that strong dollar as currency. Is anybody understanding where I'm going with this? Or your brains are too backwards to figure it out? Imagine we were producing and selling coconut candy. Sugar alagbon. We have coconut. We have the groundnut that we used to fry it. We have locally refined sugar. Everything we need for the production is here in Nigeria. We are not importing anything. So we are paying Naira salaries. We are buying Naira coconut. We are buying Naira oil. Everything. Maybe initially we need the machines to fry. So we have some foreign investment. Each time we export this locally manufactured coconut candy, when the world eats it, they pay us in dollars. Though it will get to a point, America themselves will come and balance our dollar for us, because it will be like till we thief them. You don't understand. America did it to Japan. Japan was producing on a weak yen and selling to America on a strong dollar. America fought them. I remember when Germany was producing BMW on Dutch marks and Mercedes, and America was their biggest client. They fought them because they were producing on a cheap Dutch mark and selling to a high dollar. The only problem is we are not producing anything. That is why the Naira seems like a curse. If we're a productive nation, we will want the Naira to go lower. We might cry for 5 years, but after 5 years, when all our income is from abroad and it is in foreign currency, we will now know what it is to be a rich nation. Are you able to understand me? You see, the problem is it takes people 5 years to understand what I'm saying. This is a blessing to Nigeria. This government is a blessing to Nigeria, but it is a blessing we don't have room to receive. It's like somebody comes and dashes you an aeroplane and you cannot fly it. You don't have a pilot and you don't have a pilot's license. It is a blessing too big for you to receive. Somebody said China is a case study. Larry Large. I finally have somebody in the room who is thinking. All of you are looking at this government as a curse because you know what your problem is. You are looking for who will make things easy for you. You are used to being pampered. Somebody said, let me just leave. Please go. Nobody is looking for you. Allah ilokpolo. Ebi chinedu. You can never understand this thing I'm telling you. This is that time you got up and found something. Think quick. Think on your feet. Think while you are sleeping. Think while you are running. Think while you are hungry. Maybe the hunger is even good. It will make you think. What can you produce that the world needs? Even if it is aphrodisiac. Even if, as long as it is something we can produce for free or next to nothing, and there is a foreign need for it, we are on our way to wealth. Content creators are your gods right now. Anybody who is creating content, your comedians, your musicians, they are creating local content and bringing in foreign revenue. They should be encouraged. The government should give them subsidized opportunities to create content. Because content is free, is in the brain of how much you take to connect an iPhone. How much is iPhone? 2 million. And you use 2 million to generate 100 million in foreign revenue into the country. But instead of that, do you know what you are doing? What are you selling to the world? Church. You are selling church to the world. South Africa, we beat them in football. We gave them a good thrashing. But in every other ramification of our lives, they trashed us, and they trashed us well. They have light, we don't. They have good road, we don't. The Volkswagen products that Africa uses is made in South Africa. Toyota that you use is made in South Africa. They have Toyota plant, they have BMW plant, they have Mercedes-Benz plant in South Africa. You have plant of what? What plant do you have? Please tell me. Apart from Innocent that your leaders have refused to buy. What plant do you have in Nigeria? I'm asking you. Now let me get to my topic. Some of us have the gift of being able to Meccano and GAC. Really? GAC is not manufactured here. Even the assembly plants, they are not assembling from scratch. Apart from Innocent, that nobody is supporting. Jiga said we have to start exporting made in Nigeria production. Let me tell you the stupidity of the Nigerian man. You want to start producing car. Who will drive? Who will drive a Nigerian produced car? Ask yourself. Think. You think somebody in Ghana that wants to buy motor is dreaming of Nigerian car? Or you think an American that has Lexus, Jaguar, Mercedes, Audi is Nigerian motor he wants to come and start driving? Can you think? Can you think? Can you think? Any car right now is only good for local consumption. I'm not looking at local consumption. I am looking at export. If you are frying chin chin and exporting it, you are better than somebody producing car for local consumption. You are better than somebody refining petrol for local consumption. Your brain is always consumer brain. Until an American buys a Nigerian car, we are not selling car. We are recycling the money, round tripping the money. The money does not become revenue until it brings in new revenue from abroad. Until you can sell your car to the South Koreans, sell your car to the Americans, the Canadians. If you are producing for local consumption, you are round tripping your money. Your money is the illusion of production. There is what you call production and the illusion of production. When you produce to eat is a problem. Do you want to tell me the tourism in Dubai, is it Dubai people that are enjoying it? They are selling it to the world. That's why they are so wealthy. Saudi Arabia, all the Muslims must go there for Hajj. Wherever you are in the world, I know some billionaire Muslims throughout the month of Hajj, Friday like this, wherever they are in the world, as in they say the Saudi Arabia airport, they jam for private jets, for Muslim faithfuls coming to pray Friday prayer. From some will come from America, they'll just leave the night before with their Gulf Streams that can fly long distance. They are landing there 10 a.m. on Friday like this. Their Rolls Royce is waiting at the airport to pick them and take them to Hajj. Once they are done with the prayer, they just go there to do that prayer. Once they are done with the prayer, they leave immediately. They do that if it's 4 weeks for Ramadan. Every week for those 4 weeks, they will be in Mecca to do their prayer. Some Nigerian billionaires say they do them. Now 6-hour flights from Nigeria. From America, maybe 8 hours, 10 hours, depending on the route. And those Gulf Streams are fast. They just get on the road, boom. 13 hours later, they are there. They are not going to even sleep because the aeroplane be like hotel. They go shower for the aeroplane, come down. While the plane is parked, it's being cleaned, it's being fueled. Baba don't go say in prayer, do 1 or 2 things, get on his plane, come back. Saudi Arabia, they have received this tax for landing. They have received the whatever it is coming there to come and enjoy the tourism. He will donate money to the mosque. Whatever it is he will do, they are enjoying revenue. They are selling their land that they got free of charge to Muslims across the world. Their land is free to them. They are selling it to Muslims around the world and gaining currency. That's the formula I'm looking for with Nigeria. landing permit, landing tax, all of them. That is the formula that we are looking for. What? Start breaking your head. Oh yeah, malarimo giri, malarimo gonna. Start thinking, start thinking, start thinking. Start thinking, what can we sell that comes to us for free or comes to us next to nothing? What can we sell? And let me tell you for free what we have off the top of my head. Nigerian hospitals, you dingbats. We don't need prayer. Will you come to Nigeria to pray when you can go to Israel or Rome or Mecca? Hospitals is the first place. I'm talking to the government now. Government, if you are listening to me, listen carefully. Focus on your hospitals. Give your private hospitals that have done well, give them tax rebates. This will save you. This will save you. When I said it the first time, it looked like I was running mad. A friend of mine from Canada is in Nigeria now for treatment. She said she heard it on my show. She said she heard it on my show. And she said she thought to give it a try because she has been trying to get an MRI done in Canada for 6 months. She's been in Nigeria for 2 weeks. She has, for 1 week, not up to 1 week, she has done 2 MRI. Somebody say hospital where no get light. Why do you allow them to lie to you? Do you think Evercare doesn't have light? Do you think Macure doesn't have light? Do you think Nordic doesn't have light? Let me tell you, when Yella, there was a time when Yella leg dey pain am. We carry am go hospital. Her doctor was a British doctor. He used to come every Saturday from the UK. He would come on Friday, do consultation and go back. That was her doctor. Sorry, he used to come every 2 weeks. So she used to have appointments every weekend, 2 weeks. She was treated by a UK doctor here in Nigeria. She had an infection in her leg and the doctor treated her, and today she no longer has that infection. A British doctor. You want to be treated by a British doctor, you will get it easier in Nigeria than in Britain. You don't like what I'm telling you? My father did his open heart surgery here in Nigeria. It went perfectly well. My father is still alive. You will get it cheaper and better in Nigeria than in the UK. UK standard. Oh, I want this lady to be healed completely. Then let her come and give her testimony. She said she heard it on my show and decided to give it a try because I mentioned it that look, a lot of people are come. You see, because they waka. I've told you this thing before. Nigeria is only bad for people that don't have money. If you have money, you will enjoy Nigeria. If you have money, you will enjoy Nigeria. Let me tell you a story. She said she got frustrated with the Canadian system. She's doing very well in Canada. You all know her, but I'm not going to mention her name. So she said she needed a treatment done in Nigeria, in Canada. She couldn't get, she just got frustrated, bought her ticket. They gave her a bill of $18,000 in Canada. She came to Nigeria, did the surgery with ultrasound, non-invasive surgery, first of its kind. They don't even have it in Canada. They don't even have it in Canada. They only have it because it is an experimental procedure, a combination of British and Chinese scientists that started this particular procedure. She was telling me today that she's done her surgery. I said, wow, where did they cut? I said, they didn't cut anything. They did it with ultrasound. I could not believe it. Here in Nigeria, everything she spent was $6,000. She saved $12,000. That's including her flight too. If she had stayed in a hotel, she would have spent $1,000 extra for food and room. $1,000 is 1.5 million. A good hotel is about 150,000 naira. A good standard hotel for 7 days, that will be about 1 million naira. The remaining you will use it to eat. 1.5 million naira is enough for 7 days. Good. I'm talking about good standard. With you get a room in Movenpick. It might not be a suite like Daddy Freeze's own, but you will get a room in Movenpick or Radisson. Someone says she has no medical. She has medical insurance. That's why it took her 6 months to get an MRI. You people, you see, my problem is you like to deceive yourselves. When person tell you, he go tell you in thing when you experience. When I go like to the, do you know how many? Hold on. Yeah, hello? Okay, let me send you gate pass so you can bring it into the house. Do you know how many Nigerians are bringing their children home from the UK? I have like 5 requests. People who live in the UK want to bring their children home for secondary school because their children are misbehaving under the UK system. I have like 5 different. So I'm wondering, you the Japa, but you want your children to have Nigerian values because they want scatter your picking brain. Somebody said waiting for cardiac MRI in the NHS is 12 to 18 months. That cardiac MRI, you want to get it in. This is one of them. This is one of the ladies. She reached out to me. This is one of them. I have so many of them. Let me just pin it. She's one of them. I'm actually talking to her. And babes, I'm going to send you the school that I recommend to you. I'm going to send it to you. This is one of the ladies. She wants to send her children home from abroad. Where I get for my dear, it reached like 20. Including some close Free Nation members. That cardiac MRI, you want to do it, you will do it this week in Nigeria. When you go to Evercare, you will see equipment that will match the equipment in your Canadian hospital. The only difference, and I've said this so many times, I know people like to disagree with me and argue with me. The only difference between Canada, UK, US, and Nigeria is if you have an emergency. You don't want to have an emergency in Nigeria. It will not end well. You have a heart attack in Nigeria, God forbid, it's not going to be good. In the UK or the US, when you have those kind of emergencies, they will bypass all protocol and make sure you are taken care of. But you see, that one that you can walk and you can talk, you go read 2 years before they attend to you. It will reach 2 years before they attend to you in the UK or Canada. If you have insurance. How many of you can walk into a hospital and pay $25,000 cash for a treatment? How many of you? How many of you can walk into a hospital in Canada and they say, okay, this thing that is wrong with you is $25,000. And I say, oh, give me my checkbook. I write them a check of $25,000. How many of you? You can get it done in the UK. That MRI you want, you can get it done in the UK or the US. By the time they give you the bill and you understand why they told you to wait for 12 months. Germany, on the other hand, is different. If you're a German citizen and you live in Germany, you can even You can even do the government like this to pay for your lipo. You can mago the government to pay for your tummy talk. Ask people that live in Germany. Germany is it. That's why I don't mention. I mentioned UK, US, Canada. Someone says NHS is free. It is free, but it's going to take you 2 years to get it. There was when we're treating cancer for one of our family members, all the stories I read, it took them 6 months. By the time the doctor said, okay, you are okay, you don't see anything wrong, go and use. By the time they finally saw that they had wasted 6 months. Six months. Hipsy says NHS is free, but it takes time. So one thing we can sell now, while we're looking for the granite cake, while we're looking for kuli kuli, while we're looking for those things that Oyibo people might like, we can sell our surgeries and healthcare tourism. We can sell those now. It is a product that can bring in revenue to Nigeria now. Healthcare is amazing in Europe, but the wait times are too long. Standard of care, it is your same UK doctors, Canada doctors. Let me tell you, there are doctors that are on call in the US and on call in Nigeria. The same standard. Because when you are charging people dollars for a procedure, you are not going to go and bring a quack that went to school in University of Ilorin and learned how to do appendicitis with lantern. That's not who you are going to bring. You are going to bring an American trained doctor, surgeon. Go and try. You see, all of you are saying hospital in the UK are efficient, hospital in the UK. Wait till you need a cardiac MRI. Just try it. Now, in Nigeria, I want an MRI. I don't even need a doctor. I can. There was a time we were taking my grandmother. We wanted to get an MRI done. We just took my mother-in-law. We took her there. They said, "Where's the doctor's report?" I said, "We forgot it in Port Harcourt." They did it for us. How much did we pay? 300k. Maybe now it'll be 600k. Because this was last year. Go into a UK hospital and get an MRI done. Like this. Try it. Say that the freezer is a liar. Just go into the UK. Go to your NHS and say you need an MRI. A cardiac MRI. Or a, what's the one? Cardiothoracic. Is it cardiothoracic? The upper body one. Or you need a PET scan. Go on, just tell them you need. Whoa, you will wait, your neck will be long. Somebody say, how many people can afford to pay 300k for that MRI? That's not the problem. I'm not talking to the poor. Can you put the poor in a cage for 5 minutes and let's talk about what we can sell? Are we selling these poor people? Put them in a cage. I am telling you of how we can sell things abroad. You are always comparing. The poor cannot afford to eat gari. So leave them. This message is not for the poor. Sorry, guys. I'm going to break your heart. If you are poor, this message is not for you. Tune into something else. Go and watch NTA. This message is for how Nigeria can generate revenue. Through Medicare. I don't want to hear if you are poor, you are poor. Poverty kill you there. The country is poor. What can we do to remove the country from poverty? All you do is cry from morning to night. Go to the farm and get a hoe and go and learn how to plant yam. You are sitting in the city and crying that you are hungry. Get a hoe, get into the farm, plant some yam. Me and no more. Sweet Porero. There is a vast amount of farmland available in Nigeria. You are hungry because you are forcing yourself to live in the city that you cannot afford. Carry your load. Go back to your village. Let your villagers give you land. You will plant maize. You will plant cassava. Stop eating foreign food. Stop drinking foreign drink. You have palm wine. You have orange at the back of your house. Squeeze it. Drink the juice. Make smoothie with the orange at the back of your house. Find something to do with agbalumo that will make it look like ice cream. Someone say vast land with Fulani. If all of you in your community get together, nobody can attack you. Please, somebody has brought something for me. Yeah, hello? Okay, somebody is coming to meet you. I'm going to teach you today. If you want to learn, sit down here and learn. If you don't want to learn, get out. I'm back. Everything, can the poor afford it? Can the poor afford it? If the poor cannot afford it, they should go and buy a hoe. They should buy cutlass. If you are poor, what are you doing in the city? The city is not for you. The city is not for you if you are poor. Go to the farm and go and plant yam. Go and plant cassava. Hello, me and mama. Go and lay goats. Hello, see adie. Hello, see awo. Go and raise guinea fowl. Can the poor afford it? If the poor were living on the farm, eating healthy, they are not using refined sugar, they are not eating refined food, they will need less hospitals. Get up. Wear your clothes. Go to the farm. Stop crying that you are poor. The first thing Nigeria can sell now is medical tourism. I am ready to work with Nigerian government for free to sell the hospitals, all our Nordic, Evercare, Macure. As long as the government is seeing what I'm seeing, we should spend money daily, put it on the blogs, invite people from abroad to come and spend their dollars in Nigeria. Let us make them feel safe. Let us make them feel happy. Let's work in partnership with good hotels like Radisson Blu, Movenpick, Echo Hotel. So when you come from the UK for treatment, you stay in a world-class hotel. For half the price of what you will pay in the UK, after waiting for many months, you will get it done quickly, sharply, consistently, for a fraction of the price, while you are enriching Nigeria. The government needs to hear this message, forward it to them. Someone said our government go abroad for medical treatment. The kind of medical treatment your government go abroad to do, you that you live in America, you cannot afford it. You that you live in the UK, the kind of treatment your leaders go and get, you that live there cannot afford it. Treatment of $100,000. You think they come abroad and use NHS? You keep saying some hospitals are free. The hospitals are free. Can you go to your free hospital and tell them you want a cardiac MRI? Go and do it. Go there. Alain Boron. Mongbano Prime. This thing at £1 abroad. For Nigeria, na 5K. But it's very nice. And they do free advert for them. Someone said you can't use NHS. You can't. And they don't use any kind of hospital. They use the best hospitals. You see, we are talking about a good hospital in Nigeria, the best hospital in Nigeria, which is an average private hospital in the US. That same treatment you want in Nigeria that you got for $6,000. You will get it now in Canada. You pay $30,000 or $40,000. Your leaders can afford $40,000 for checkup. You cannot afford it. And your NHS will not pay for it. There is a limit they pay for. Your leaders, see, the way you come to Nigeria and get your treatment, that's the way your leaders go abroad and get their treatment, because they can go and spend $120,000 a trip. You cannot. Someone said NHS get priority list. How many of you did the priority list? How many of you abroad are in the priority list of NHS? Someone said you can get it free in Germany. I said Germany is not where I'm talking. I said, Sheti Edini. So that can do work, Setini. I am talking how many Nigerians are in Germany compared to UK? US and Canada. Somebody said your proposal is good, but you must fix the insecurity in the land. If you come to Lagos and you are going to ever care, the likelihood that you will meet insecurity is minimal. Simply Vic, nobody is anti-NHS. We are telling you the truth. I know how many people come to Nigeria for treatment from that same UK. There are many. US is part of the list. Many people can't afford. You see, because you have hypertension, there are medication, need a heart transplant or a kidney transplant. You understand that Nigeria is better. Somebody say a lot of people are running away from Nigeria because of ignorance. When my mother-in-law had cancer, we wanted to carry her abroad. They gave us a bill of £25,000. Everything in total came to about £25,000. The money was a lot. I was ready to sell one of my cars then. Let's move. Let's give this woman the treatment she needs. So while we're waiting, we now said, Let us even start the treatment locally, pending when we can get her visa, referral, all those things. Baba. Now we carry her go loot Unsiad Cancer Center. When we got there, the first thing that made us afraid was that place was like abroad. They had the latest radiation machines. They had a fantastic setup. This was 2021. She's cancer free. She's cancer free. How much did we spend? We spent maybe 5 million naira. Because at a point there was an emergency, immunity dropped to a scary level. So we had to admit her into one of those rooms where you go there covered from head to toe in nylon. Compared to the UK, it was still peanuts. Medical tourism, we can sell it now. Renu Omokri said something about the government. He said, it's just that we've always been ruled by slow pokes. Mark Zuckerberg was jogging. That's amazing PR for Nigeria. Even though I know that those people with him are bodyguards. They just look like normal people. But it is amazing PR for Nigeria. The second thing Nigeria can sell now is our education. What we have now on ground that we can start to sell, education. Go and watch my interview with Afe Babalola. Afe Babalola has a program every year where nurses from Canada come to Afe Babalola in Ado Ekiti in exchange for nurses from Nigeria. So we exchange nurses. They send nurses from Canada, we send nurses from Nigeria. It's called the cross program. Some students of Afe Babalola University are currently studying in Afe Babalola University, Canada, because of this exchange program. Someone say education. With the way our universities go on strike, once again, poverty has blinded you. Private universities don't go on strike. It's only government universities that go on strike. Private universities don't go on strike. Poverty people. Let me tell you, you can never go anywhere in this life if poverty is still attacking your brain. We've got good universities. We can work to make the syllabuses a bit better. We can work to make them more conducive. But Nigerians and Nigerians abroad and abroadarians and our government should start marketing our private universities abroad. You see, all of you waiting for the dollar. I don't want the dollar to go down. The dollar should not go down anyway. Why is it going down? What do we have to support the dollar that to make it go down? Always thinking of putting plaster on what crack on the wall. Plaster band, leg plaster. You go and put it on the wall. That's how you think. Your brains are so primitive. Think. As the dollar is high and the naira is low, what can we produce on the naira and sell and bring in the dollar? Hospital is there. Education is there. Farming is there. I've solved your problem for you. Government, I don't need you to pay me 1 naira. Just get your experts and let them start implementing this. People will thank you. Tinubu will be the best president Nigeria has ever had if he can just fix this. In fact, let them take the dollar to 3,000 naira and peg it there. and focus on what to sell. I'll be back in 1 minute. If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen, pop my money guns. We're back. I just needed to bring Instagram back. I'm going to teach you how to save the Naira today. Welcome back, Instagram. Welcome back. 3 things the Nigerian government needs to do. 1, start with medical tourism, collaborating with our private hospitals. Forget the state-run hospitals. They don't work. We know. The private ones, on the other hand, they work. How can the government give them some funding, give them some tax rebates, and give them some promo? The government should go abroad and bring Americans who are sick and bring them to Nigeria and pay for them and treat them in Nigerian hospitals. And when they are well, they should take them back. Don't poor man who come and say, me, I'm not well, they have not taken care of me. They are bringing Americans. They are bringing Americans so we can sell our hospital to the Americans. Shut up. You are a consumer. All you want is for them to take care of you, and you are useless. There's nothing to take care of in you. Someone said medical tourism is a no-no. Medical tourism is already working. One of my friends came from Canada. She's in Nigeria today receiving treatment. We don't care about the value of the dollar. We care about what Naira, what you can sell in Nigeria. It's either we are selling something, we are taking something out of Nigeria to sell, or we are bringing people to Nigeria to buy. Dubai do not sell anything to the US. They bring the US to Dubai to buy. Bring and buy, or send out to buy. And we're going to operate on both. We're going to operate on both. The private medical sector has done so good. It is now the time for the government to intervene, support, give tax rebates, give import duty rebates. They want to bring in medical machinery. The government should not only give them import waivers, tax waivers, they should also put some money. They should subsidize. You want to bring an MRI machine? If the MRI machine is $1 million, the government should pay $200,000 out of it. We are not selling this to the people on the street. It's not, the hospital is not for you. It is the revenue that the country is going to use. Don't think of it as because your brain is consumption brain. I have a friend who sells Rolexes. She sells used Rolexes, Cartiers. If you want to sell your watch, she'll sell it for you. So I was talking to her the other day, and I noticed she was wearing one of the most basic Cartiers, and this is a girl that sold a Richard Mille, and she was wearing a $4,000 Cartier. And I'm like, why are you wearing a $4,000 Cartier? She said, Daddy, please, I can't get high on my supply. As you see me like this, I like watch past you. But if I begin to wear the watch, how do I make profits? I looked at her and said, you have sense. I make my profit from selling, not from wearing. I want to have a collection, but I want to sell. You, the typical Nigerian, you have collection brain. You want them to build a hospital for you. No. That sickness that is worrying you will worry you. This is one we are building for the Naira. It's called Naira Hospital. It is not for Nigerians. It is for people abroad to bring their dollar and come and enjoy it and pay us the dollar so our Naira can begin to appreciate, or we can have inflow of foreign currency into the country so the standard of life can improve. Second is our educational system. Third is our agriculture. For the educational system, we don't need Nigerian unis. We need private unis that the government is going to give incentives to. Afe Babalola University, Covenant University, Babcock University. What can the government do to make these universities even better? How do we go abroad and bring people in to Nigeria from abroad so that they can come and study in Nigerian universities, and so that they can come and bring the foreign money from outside into Nigeria? Agriculture is important, but it's not as important as medical tourism, because it's going to take a while for us to blend into that. But we already have the hospitals. People are already coming in for treatment. Many of you don't know, but when you see your family members in Nigeria, it's not only holidays. Some of them came for treatment that they could not afford to do abroad, or it's taking too long to get to them abroad. Some say we have more food than farmland. I totally disagree. Even the rice we eat is imported. Local consumption cannot feed the nation. And once again, local consumption is a problem. I'm looking for export consumption, not local consumption. Local consumption is high on your own supply. I don't need anything that we can produce so that it will be cheaper for Nigerians. No, I want something we can produce that can bring in revenue into Nigeria. That's the hack. That's the hack right there. And until we get this, you know why I said I was going to share this? Because the lady said, I was watching your video that day and you were saying it, and I take what you say very seriously. So she said, oh, you know what? And coincidentally, around that same time, she'd been struggling to get an appointment for an MRI in Canada, and it was taking like 6 months. So she said, what can even happen? Let me just come to Nigeria and try it out. What she could not do in 6 months, she came to Nigeria for 1 week. She has done the whole procedure, done everything, done the MRI, done everything, and is about to start going back to Canada in 1 week for 1/4 of the price. Someone said, when you bring in dollar, you increase the exchange rate. Absolutely not. When you earn dollar into a revenue, it doesn't mess. It's when you go and buy car. house, accessories, all those things you are buying abroad. You are spending our dollar reserve. But when you are earning dollars, it's different from abroad. Earning dollars is different too. Nigeria itself earns dollars. You think Nigeria earns naira? Let me ask you a question. Shh. All of those people telling you earn in naira. Is your country earning in naira? Your own country is earning in dollars. Just think. Just think. So the trick and the hack is, how can you sell something that comes easy to us in Nigeria for foreign revenue? Nigerians need to go back to the farms. Content creators, I applaud you. You guys are amazing people. You are helping earn foreign revenue into the country. Kudos to you. It's not going to be a 1 week solution, but if we start now, you will enjoy this government. Because at the rate at which the naira is now to the dollar, the best thing that can happen to us is we have something to sell to get that dollar. It will work like magic. Someone said if your revenue exceeds expenditure, you have budget surplus. Absolutely. Someone said corruption should be killed first. I don't know how we're going to do that. Chichi Obama said stop overpopulation. Very true. If you enjoyed what you learned today, pop my money guns. Pop my money guns. If you're watching on YouTube, super chat, super stickers, and super likes. Anybody that buys 1,000 stars and above would get a special shout out to me from Facebook. Let me bring a couple of people here so we can have a conversation. Where's my sister that said she wants to send her children to Nigeria for schooling? I have so many of them. Daddy Freeze, please recommend a school. Daddy Freeze, please recommend. People are sending their children from the UK. When Peking wants to scatter your brain for that UK, now this Nigeria they come. I have up to 20 requests in my DM. People you know and people you don't know. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. My money gone. Someone said real wealth for the soil. Absolute from the soil. Absolutely. Double click the screen if you're watching on TikTok. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. Double click the screen if you're watching on TikTok. This is how you do it. If you want me to recommend the school, send me a DM. I'm not going to recommend the school publicly. Double click the screen. Double click the screen. Double click the screen. Tap, tap, tap away, tap away, tap away, tap away if you're watching on TikTok. We've got 7,700 likes. Let's get it to 20K now. Double click the screen. Tap, tap, tap away, tap away, tap really fast. Tap really fast. Tap away, tap away, tap, 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 tap. All of you, tap, tap, tap. Let's get it to 20K now, 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 now. 7,900. Let's go, let's go. Pop my money guns while you're at it. Pop my money guns. Pop, pop those money guns. Come on, baby. Pop those money guns while you're watching. Tap, tap, tap.
You don't see me like this.
Good evening. How are you doing, my sister?
Good. I'm just waking up. I've been asleep.
Oh, so you are not listening?
I was sleeping. No, I've been sleeping. Then I woke up to see that you're online. I joined, but then I'm still like this.
You're still half awake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. There was a particular lady. Is it your Madonna?
Sleep right.
If you have not yet woken up, or more door. I pinned her comment the other time. Oh no, I'm really struggling now.
Yes. I think she.
Let me bring her live. Another way of relieving stress. What stress are you relieving? Tell us about it.
No. you talked about sending their kids overseas. It's another way of relieving stress from them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If they stress you too much, you send them home.
Standard. Let them come and learn some manners. Send them to boarding school in Nigeria. Ara wọn máa balẹ̀.
Then bend their neck.
Their body, they will press their neck well. Their body will standard. They will be all right. No. Ayogboshi.
Do you know the time I scheduled for ultrasound? You know, I was to get an ultrasound and they sent me to a particular location. You know, it took a month to schedule me. I was having this pain on my abdomen. I went to see my PCP and she recommended an ultrasound. You can imagine for somebody that had a pain, nothing was given to me. I wasn't given any medication. I was only asked, okay, would you like us to do an ultrasound to see what's going on there, which I kind of agreed to. But it took them a month. Do you know, not just that it took them a month, on the D-Day, they called me to say they were canceling it. They were going to reschedule because the staff didn't come to work. I was so upset with them. I was like,
a month for an ultrasound. Samaria.
It's just a particular location. Anyway, a particular one that is close to my house. But you can imagine it took them a month. They told me they were fully booked. So 1 month, you can imagine if the pain continued. Does it mean I would have continued with the pain till somebody said that's US and with the insurance? So this has nothing to do with insurance. They said they were fully booked at the time I was making that.
You need an ultrasound. Samaria, in Nigeria, in Lekki, you need an ultrasound. You will get it done on Tuesday.
I just think it's because I chose a particular place. If I had checked elsewhere or called another company, maybe, but those people, that was what they told me. And the thing I was asking myself, can you imagine? So if I were if that pain didn't stop, I would have had that pain for that long. You know?
We have somebody right here with us. Hello. Show up.
Hi, Dad, please. Good morning. Oh, said morning. Okay. Afternoon.
Hi, how are you doing?
But the ultrasound wasn't urgent, right? That's why it took that long. Because I know that in America, though, the healthcare, if it's urgent or even if it's not, if they think it's important, they would schedule you in immediately.
Don't say important. Every health is important. If you say maybe based on priorities.
Okay. On priority, because my a family member went to the hospital in America, in Florida, and she didn't even want to stay. They held her. They told her she has to stay, that they have more tests to run. And she was like, she was thinking of insurance and all that. I didn't want to stay. But they told her, don't worry about it. If it's insurance, we'll find a way around it. But they said, except you want to sign yourself out against doctor's advice. It became a whole thing. They called other doctors to come talk her down to stay for the procedure, for the checkup. And after checking, they did MRIs. She said every test you can think of in the book, they did it. And they did find out that something major was wrong with her. And immediately they said treatment. So in America, we're not among but another healthcare that we can export in Nigeria is fertility treatment.
Absolutely.
I know a lot of people come from America, go to America to do IVF. There's a lady in America, in Maryland, that's gone there. She went there for her first child to get her first pregnancy.
To Nigeria, Abby?
She got pregnant. In Nigeria, yes.
Oh, yes.
She went to Nigeria, got pregnant with IVF, had a baby, and came back to America to have a baby. After having a baby, she went back to Nigeria for the second pregnancy. Now she's about to go back again for the third. IVF in Nigeria. Nigeria's fertility treatments, that's something we can export. That's really making it in Nigeria. I know them BBL too. DR is doing the same thing. Dominican Republic, they're exporting. A lot of people go to the DR for BBL, all the liposuction and all that, all the cosmetic surgeries. In Nigeria, we have Grandview Med doing amazing. That's another thing we can exploit. And they have like a really nice like suite for foreign guests that is like a hotel, like basically medical tourism, like a hotel with for recovery, and it's really nice. That's another thing we can export. Cosmetic surgery as well.
What are your thoughts, Samaria?
Any freeze, I know all those their cosmetic related things they sell well.
Oh, because your own natural. You know what come the ones we not get natural. I mean then you want me to begin cry give you.
To all those things. So but I know it sells. People are paying their nose off to acquire those things. I mean the government should they may want to like encourage it more back home if they want to invest more in it. The funny thing is that they pay cash, nothing like insurance or anything.
Yep.
It's always a cash. I know this lady and her husband that own one in California. They are cashing out big time. So, Judge Face, like you said, I don't know. Because some can send you the
And again, that please, speaking on
yeah, it's just that it's kind of expensive, but we do have good health care, and you will never be neglected. Matter of fact, they will recommend and tell you, and if you refuse, you can sign your MAA. We do have good health care. It's always about priority, order of priority. That's what we focus on.
Another thing we can exploit that if you spoke about government helping all the private universities like Afebabala, Covenant, Babcock. So you see, if in some of those cases, it's even easier. Take for instance Babcock, because I went to Babcock University. In Babcock now, Babcock is already affiliated with like foreign schools because it's an international establishment because of the Seventh-day Adventists. If they already, it's so easy for them to even do the exchange program because they have students in American Seventh-day Adventist schools that can, or even Ghana. They have a lot of Seventh-day Adventist institutions all over the world that they can easily like do exchange programs with. So that's even another way to even support Nigeria. That would be easier, very easy for them to do if the government. But the thing is, the government also sees the private institutions as a way to like tax them. They tax the private institutions heavily. There's so much red tape when it comes to private institutions and that sort of thing in Nigeria. If they lift the regulations and make it easier for them, that's another way to go.
That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. All right.
And
yes, go ahead.
News. I saw the news, sorry, a couple of days ago. It says that nurses intending to Japa from Nigeria. And someone shared something on my school forum, requirements.
What were the requirements? On TikTok, double click the screen. I'm going now. I'm leaving. I've tried. If you're watching on Facebook, buy my stars. Yes, I invited one lady who just joined us too. She hasn't been able to join.
You can imagine one of the things they listed, if you want to verify your verification circular, just verify your paperwork to travel. One of them says that eligible applicants must have a minimum of 2 years post-qualification experience. Something I'm talking about. From the date of insurance. Oh, not this one. The fourth one said the council shall request a letter of good standing from the chief executive officer of applicant's place of work. The last nursing training institution attended. A response on these shall be addressed directly to the Registrar, CEO, Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. Yeah. And I said that you should know that they won't accept such letter through the applicants. And I'm wondering, like, who is testing? Who is going to bring this letter up? If you see the things here, the list here is, you'd be like, I know they're trying hard to make sure people stay back and stop jabbering, but they're not doing anything to help them to stay back. It's not fair. Last people go jabber. They'll find a way to jabber.
They're trying to make things difficult for them to escape.
Yep.
And it's not fair. It's not fair on the people.
It's not fair.
11 years just to get a license. License that by the time they come here, they won't be able to even defend it. They'll write it, but they go right, fail. The same thing for nurses. So it doesn't even make any sense studying those courses at home if your intentions are to Japa. Just find a way to Japa. When you get over there, then you can start studying you study the course. Or there are lots of things you can as well do that if not, is not health related, like nursing or doctor, whatever, medicine. You can do some of the therapies. Those ones sell too. Do we have Dr. 33? Does that function very well in Nigeria? Do the occupational therapists and all those speech therapists, do you think, are they really strong back home?
Not as strong as abroad, but hey, you might be lucky. We've got a gentleman here. Brother, what are your thoughts?
Hello, Daddy Freeze.
Hello, brother. What are your thoughts? Greet our ladies.
Hello, sisters. How are you?
Hello.
Yeah, Daddy Freeze. My name is Promise. I'm in the UK.
Okay, Promise. Go ahead.
Yeah. So with all the things that you are saying, I really believe that we've got prospect with regards to the healthcare marketing, and I've been saying that we are really selling our brains for free here in the UK. But you did mention education as well, and some people are arguing how can we utilize our education, how can we sell it to these foreigners. But it baffles me when you come here in the UK. There are courses you register to study in the UK. Like we have a lot of, somebody talking about nursing, we have a lot of nurses that leave the Nigeria to come here and study masters and everything. It will surprise you to know that there are programs that you will come in. 80% of the students are Nigerians. 80%, and they are paying international fees. And also, 80% of the lecturers are Nigerians. So you see people leave, the teachers leave Nigeria to come and stay in a building here in the UK. The students leave Nigeria to come and stay in a building here in the UK teaching themselves. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. We can bring money. I'm not education in the UK. I'm a lecturer in trying to market education. But what I think is that we are exporting our money, and it doesn't help us at all. We can make things better, and in healthcare as well. We can also make things better. I believe what you are saying, that it is about people coming home to get treatment.
What this guy just said is amazing. We leave our country and go abroad. The same teacher that will teach you abroad is the one teaching. I will teach you in Nigeria is teaching you abroad. The same student that will study abroad. So what have we done?
Yeah,
we have not done anything.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You come here, you see, there are classes that you have in a class of 100 students, 80 are Nigerians. If they have 10 lecturers, 9 are possibly Nigerians.
Can you imagine?
Do you know what happened there? Is that they've both moved, both student and lecturer have moved to a different country. Where what has changed is the law. What the lecturer can do in Nigeria and get away with, he can't do it in UK and get away with. That's what has changed for both lecturer and student. The way the lecturer is trying to fail them in Nigeria or just deriving joy or, saying, A is for Mr. A is for me, B is for... You can't do that in the UK.
Japa, whatever, Japa.
Exactly. You can't do that.
The Japa.
That is what has changed. It's the law that has changed. They are both there, but the law has changed.
Yeah, but I don't think that makes enough difference, because in Nigeria, that you're a lecturer in Nigeria doesn't mean you want to.
How much are you earning? How much are they getting?
Exactly. How much are you earning?
Do you know how much these students are investing?
But the lecturer in Nigeria would not behave the way he would behave to a Nigerian student in Nigeria.
If he's paid well, if he is paid well, do you think he would?
If he's paid well, so now he's now.
Of course, yeah.
Do you know how much these students pay? Do you know how much it costs to be an international student in the UK?
That's right.
I know. I also went to school in the UK. I went to school in the UK. I did my master's in the UK.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Will you be able to pay that in Nigeria? If you agree to pay that amount of money in Nigeria, the lecturers in Nigeria will be paid well.
They will be. Of course, yes.
Yeah.
And if you pay them well, they will not misbehave.
True. So now the responsibility lies on the authorities, the regulation board, educational regulation boards, to make sure and the institutions as well, to increase the pay of lecturers and make the environment conducive enough for them so that they don't leave.
That is where the government comes in. I agree with you. The government's got a role to play in this whole thing. These things will not happen by themselves. The government needs to create an enabling environment for these things to happen and support it from happening. So the way we are exporting our brains, we are exporting it for nothing, for peanuts.
Right.
Absolutely.
You understand? We are exporting them for free. So we can bring those things home and we'll make our money. Even white people, foreigners can come and study in Nigeria if we make things right.
And I also read somewhere recently that, which made sense, that one of the reasons why the dollar is so strong is because it's the world currency and everybody in other countries, they accept it. And another thing that devalues a currency is if when they're not accepting that currency. Take, for instance, in Nigeria now, I've heard of businesses accepting dollars as payment and not accepting naira. That's another situation that we should try and correct, because if you're accepting dollars in Nigeria, why are you not? You shouldn't be accepting dollars in Nigeria. You should
What
accept
if they invested in dollars?
Hold on. Let's talk. Let's imagine you bring in a car. I'm selling cars. I'm bringing in, let's say, a 2024 GLE. Brand new. By the time you pay all the taxes, will come to about $145,000. You bring it to Nigeria, you clear it with, say, $30,000. You have spent $170,000, Abi. You put a markup of $20,000. Right? No matter what the Naira wants to do, if they like, the Naira should drop to 1 Naira to $1. That day you walk into my shop, I calculate the value of my car that I want to sell. I bought it $145,000. I cleared it with $30,000, $170,000. I added $20,000, $195,000. If the dollar is 3,000 Naira, calculate it in that currency. If the dollar is 1 Naira to anything the dollar wants, you understand what you get? You get stability. Now imagine you bring in that same car. I'm telling you things that happen from experience. So me, I'm telling you personal experience. You buy the car, $145,000 at, say, 900 Naira to the dollar. Times 900. That's 130 million Naira. Now, by the time the car takes 3 months to land to Nigeria, the $20,000 they quoted for you, dollar has gone to 1,200 Naira. So $20,000 that was 18 million naira has now become 24 million naira. You have not sold the car. Am I communicating? So now you add 24 million naira. So 130 million naira plus 24 million naira is equal to 154 million plus your $20,000 profit, which is another 24 million naira plus 24 million naira. So 178 million naira is what you will sell the car and make a profit. If you sell it 175, you make a smaller profit, but you need to sell it for at least 170 million naira. Now dollar is now 1,500 naira. So let us check this 178 million in dollars divided by 1500. $119,000. Have you made a profit or a loss?
You lost your money.
So what the people now do when they did it the first time, they did it the second time, I tell you, because that 109, you are selling cars, you want to buy another one and sell. How can you do a business of where you invested 170,000, you want to make 190,000, and then you have made 119,000?
If you do that, if you do it 3 times, your money is finished.
No, you are back in the village.
You're bankrupt. Let me tell you an experience I had. Yeah, I came to Nigeria and I wanted to start up my dental practice in Nigeria because I've been to dentistry as well. So I said I wanted a happening place in Imo State. So I went to the shopping mall, where I wanted to rent a space. So they gave me a space and they measured it per square meter and all of that. But when they were calculating the rent for me, they calculated it in dollars. So I asked the manager of the place, I said, we are in Imo State. Why are you charging me rent in dollars? The man said, that the people that invested this money, they invested in dollars. That is the only way they can guarantee their stability and their money. That they are not asking me to pay the rent in dollars. That what they would do is to tell me what the money is in dollars. I should convert it in naira and pay the equivalent. So by next year, it will still be the same thing for me, regardless of what the exchange rate is. So whatever the conversion is for me in naira is between me and the Nigerian government. It's not their business. Their business is that this is your rent and your rent is in dollars. Convert it to naira. If you convert it to naira today, if it is, as at that time, it came to about 11 million naira or so. If you convert the same money today, you'll be paying maybe 20-something million.
I think they're just trying to frustrate you.
So every time you pay,
hold on. Maybe the person that bought his car in dollars and sold in naira, maybe you say he lost money. Imagine you give somebody, he will pay 3 times. Imagine you entered a business deal with somebody, say he will pay 3 times. So you brought in the car for him at 178 million and you staggered the payment over 3 months. And within that 3-month period, dollar went. We are not going far. October till now.
Oh, Lord. I know.
As in, if you thought you were losing money selling the cash, as in this one, by the time you do the mathematics, now you go on run mad.
Mm-hmm. So how do we increase the demand for naira?
My problem is naira should be pegged. Maybe they should take it to 3,000 naira where it's heavy and peg it there. The problem is not the high rate of naira. The problem is the fluctuation.
The instability.
That is it.
Yeah,
and that is what is making people want to collect money in dollars. If you peg it at $3,000.
At least well, now it's $3,000. Everyone will rest.
Do you understand? So people will cry. Eventually, we'll catch up with it. Hook it somewhere. The government says that okay, it can't go worse than $3,000. Let's exchange it for $3,000, but keep it at $3,000 for 2 years. Nobody needs to charge in dollars. The reason why they are crying, the government is not happy because the people are charging dollars because of the instability. It's not the price. It's not the price. If the dollar is 4,000 naira and you bought the car for $175,000. Any day you sell it, even if the car is sitting down in your garage for 1 year, the day you sell it, that $178,000 we have is equivalent in his 4,000 naira to $1. The problem is not the naira, the problem is the fluctuation. In 3 months, naira they move like Bitcoin. No currency. As in, you have no idea. In August, naira was like 1,000. I still cleared the car in August. The government, the rate they gave us then was 750 naira. And we're shouting that they want to kill us, they want to kill us. Now it's 1,000, it's double. Sorry, hold on. Hello, my brother. Good evening. I'm good. Are you ready for me? I don't see him now. I don't see the... I trust you now. What do you want us to do? If you bring him this night? Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. No vex. So do you... Are you serious? You know, say woman, you get the way woman they use their thing. You don't have to now.
People.
I trust you, brother. I trust you, brother. I trust you.
I still live.
Okay.
You know, it's not easy. Okay. Nigerians are...
I will call you in like 10 minutes, if that's okay.
Other countries would have gone for, you know what I mean? By now, problem.
Okay. Okay.
So, people.
Yeah, I think we should find a way to
the one way you do already don't do too much
if
now.
people are demanding their naira,
oh, yeah,
help
just
the
do
naira
that. But naira I will give you, as I don't tell you.
If we like that, fixing it at making it fix and not fluctuate so much would help in the demand for naira. And if, for instance, if they fix it at 4,000. People that make that sell would actually even be making, if you sell in dollars, will actually even be making a profit because
So sorry. I just had to take that call. What I was trying to say in essence is, whatever we do, because the government is trying to say that, oh, right now it's the people charging in dollars. Nobody needs to charge in dollars. What we need is stability. We don't need a cheap naira. Don't get me wrong. We don't want the naira to come down to 800 naira. We just want it to be 3,000 naira. We know it's 3,000 naira. It's 3,000 naira for 3 years. Maybe that 3,000 will drop to 2,950. It will rise to 3,050. So it will be moving between 2,950 and 3,050 for 3 years. But this one with dollar, they do like Bitcoin. They do like wait till they call that Solana. My daughter say, buy Solana, daddy, buy Solana, daddy. I go buy $50 Solana. And I had like $10,000 in that trading account. Doing nothing, just sitting down. All I needed to do was put $5,000. My $50 Solana turned to $226 in 2 months. Imagine I put $5,000. That would have been $26,000.
Please watch Solana. Let me go and buy.
No, now it's high. It's not the time to buy. Amara. My Viking just said, Daddy, buy Solana. Oh, look, it's just Solana. Okay. She said, she even called me back. Have you bought it? I bought $50. I don't look and say, really speaking, waiting, no. That's why I go buy 50. If I bought $500, I'll have $2,000. $2,200. I be total $2,600. As in, see that fluctuation. Him with him. Now so naira bill. So the problem with the naira is not the high rate, is the fluctuation. If the government thinks, let's move it to 3,000, but keep it stable for 3,000, businesses who are, you take 1 or 2 months, sometimes 1 or 2 years, those ones that will go back to the farm to the betterhood of the nation. The rest of us, will manage and deal with what we have. Someone said, I don't think pegging will work. Nigeria goes just turn to another thing. So
ask that person, what is the solution then?
There's really no, I don't know how they can peg it, because I don't think it is possible.
That went down. Nothing goes up.
Someone said it's not the government regulating. The government should come back and regulate it. The government should come back and regulate it, but regulate it at a point where both the black market and the banks are selling at the same price. How do they do it in other countries? Like, it does not go like this, like Bitcoin.
I think it's that instability that is chasing our foreign.
Yes.
We cannot be a foreign.
Yeah, I just give you an example. Person buy motor. By the time he ship the motor, the price don't increase.
Yeah.
By the time they land the motor, the price don't increase. He sell the motor, he won't go buy another one. If the price don't increase, he say the money no reach. Waiting be like say he sell, make profit. He no comfy buy the same car when he sell. How he won't take they do business?
That's true. I know a lot of people that invested and lost their money.
Hey. Bishop Desmond, how are you doing on YouTube? Guys, una they learn una full everywhere, everybody everywhere full. Nobody agree buy my money gone. Nobody agree buy my super chat. In fact, I'm not doing it again. Let me go and sleep. Let me go and drink beer and watch television. At least that one, I know say the beer they enter my body. This one just they talk, they enter your body, they sweet now. They say, That's how my friend called me and said, Adi Freeze, I listened to you the other day and I've come home and I've done the treatment and I'm fine now. They not pay tithe inside. They say, this $8,000 where I save, make I carry only $2,000 dash Daddy Freeze inside. No. So you want make I leave beer where I go to drink with suya? We don't order suya, full house. I will not put my leg for madam leg. We just they watch Gossip Girl. Just they relax, they kiss, they do all those kind of things. I want to say Valentine Day near.
Watch Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girl, na inspiration for me.
Okay.
See how Gossip they change one. Who watch Gossip Girl? Tamara, you know what Gossip Girl?
It's like all these girly soaps.
It's a girly soap, but they show how, you don't forget, say Gossip now, waiting me at the sell. You don't forget. Gossip is what I sell. Church is what I preach. Motivation is what I teach.
Speaking of church, Daddy Freeze, I have one church question for you. Maybe on a later
ask
message.
It now, quick.
Okay. Daddy Freeze, you know how Jesus, Yeshua was not even Christian.
Yeah.
Because Christianity came from him, right?
Yes.
Because people are trying to be like him, Christ-like. But his own religion was Jewish. He was Jewish, wasn't he? So why aren't we practicing? Isn't that the true religion is Judaism? If he himself wasn't even Christian.
Technically, he was Muslim. Islam is the followership and belief in Allah. So anybody who follows Allah is a Muslim. Anybody. If you believe Allah is God and you follow God, you are a Muslim, not by following the tenets of Islam, but by the definition of the word Muslim. He was never a Christian. Christianity started through the Pauline gospel. Paul started Christianity. Paul was a Christian. Christ was not a Christian. He was a Jew, but he did not bring the Jewish faith to the Gentiles. We are Gentiles. It's very this question where you ask is very technical. We are the Gentiles. If you read Acts chapter 15 and Acts chapter 21, the church came together to separate the doctrine for the Jews and for the Gentiles. The Jews were still supposed to be under the Jewish law, the Mosaic law, while we, the Gentiles, were given only 4 requirements. do not eat blood, do not eat strangled animals, do not eat animals sacrificed to idols, and stay away from immorality. Those were the only 4 laws that were given to us as Gentiles out of the 613 Jewish laws. The Jews, on the other hand, still continued practicing their laws. So Christ did not come to make a Yoruba man a Jew. He came, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, so that through him we may be saved. He came to bring us that God that was predominantly for the Jews before, through Christ, is available to Samaria, that is Igbo, to Daddy Freeze, that is Romanian, Yoruba, to Ada Blessing, that is Calabar. Before, the gospel was not available to you. God was God of Israel. If you are Palestinian, God does not know your papa. Do you understand? So Christ did not come to make us Jews. He came to bring the God of the Jews to the world. For God so loved the world, he sent his only begotten Son, so that through him we may be saved. You cannot practice Judaism. Can you please stand up? Let me see what you're wearing.
I'm wearing a dress.
You're wearing a dress?
A top.
Under
yes,
the top, what are you wearing?
Nothing.
Like no underwear?
Like, no, there's underwear.
If you are wearing jeans, one of the Jewish laws is you cannot wear a cloth cut out of 2 fabrics.
Yeah, there's so many laws. The Jewish laws.
You cannot eat catfish. Do you like catfish?
Mm-hmm.
I was driving with my mother's car with my mom's driver, so we stopped to buy bushmeat. So I said, because he's been my mom's driver for ages, wonderful guy, Biodun, loves my mom more than we the children. So now I said, Alaji Biodun, which kind of bushmeat you like? He said, they chop bushmeat. I said, why? He said, because they know they slaughter the bushmeat.
It's not halal, eh?
So we can't go. I say, I just trying to, you like catfish? He said, where now? I said that prayer where they pray when they slaughter your meat. And they pray when they slaughter catfish. In quiet. I said, what about prawns? He said, no. I said, the place in the Bible that says you can, and in the Quran, because the Quran also came from the Pentateuch, that's the first 5 books of Moses. You are neither allowed to eat catfish nor to eat prawn. The animals from the sea that you consume must have both fins and scales.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot even eat alaron. What do they call that fish? Mackerel fish. It does not have scales. You cannot eat catfish. You cannot eat lobster.
Mm-hmm.
The Jews don't eat these things. But you now, for instance, that law is not meant for you because you are not a Jew. If you go to Israel on Saturday, nobody is going to wash a dish for you on Saturday. Everybody rests. Those were the laws by which the Israelites were governed. Christ did not come to put us under their law. He came to set us free so that we may know God through him.
So like the Seventh-day Adventists that follow the Jewish law in that regard, they don't eat like fish with things and the likes. So they are following the Jewish law. Meanwhile, the law wasn't made for us since we are Gentiles.
The law wasn't made for us. According to the teachings of Paul and the apostles, the entire Jerusalem church came in agreement. That's why I reference Acts chapter 15 and Acts chapter 21. The law was separated. Okay, this is for the Jews and this is for the Gentiles. Paul preached a lot of nonsense. Paul went in Galatians chapter 3 verse 28. He said, we're all the same. There's no difference. And people tend to misinterpret the teachings of Paul. I don't know if I'm making sense, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Any more
Thank you.
questions?
Thank you. I've always wondered.
Yeah.
I've always wondered. Thank you.
Samaria, do you have any question? Samaria is reading Bible for us tomorrow in church. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Church service is 12:30 a.m. 12:30 a.m. Take care, everyone. God bless. Today, where you supposed to buy my money gun and I no buy. Tomorrow when we church, I no go comfy be able to sell. Wicked people, stingios. I'm not people's friend again. Bye, everyone. Good night.
Bye. Thank you. Good night.